Welcome to the Chaos Engine podcast. My name's Chris, and I run shows on this network. I am a player and do all sorts of stuff. Edit, run social media, make some music, did some intros, that kind of stuff. We got to sit down this week with the awesome Max Albert. That's how I know him online from 9mm Retirement Radio. And I hope you enjoy, I think, our longest interview we've done. Max and I talked a lot. He's a really fucking cool dude, and you should, if you're not listening to 9mm Retirement Radio, you should. And if you're not supporting them on the Ko-fi site, you should. Check the show notes for a link. And before we get into this episode, let's thank the fine folks at Patreon. We got Taylor, Drowrin, Miles, Randy, Yam, Thomas, Randy G, Laszlo, Hovo, Hovo, Jeremy, Ben, Garth, Nelson, Clorpdonk, Cody, Hygienic, Ty, Eldrick Owl, Samanos, Daddy of the Arcane Lore, and Sir Mumbleton III. Thank you guys for your continued support over there on their Patreon, and they got a little sneak peek to the potential God's Teeth artwork, so that's pretty cool. We'll have that, should be unveiling next week or the week after. Putting the finishing touches on it, tweaking here and there, but very excited for you guys to see that. So without further ado, I'm going to let past Chris and past Max take it away. Hey folks, welcome back to another episode where we're going to interview some I like to think of all as friends. I don't know if some people are friends of the show, but I know our current guest is a friend of the show. He listens as far as I'm aware. I listen to his podcast as well. We share that in common. I am sitting down with Max from 9mm Retirement Radio. How you doing, man?
Hello. I'm doing good, man. It's good to talk with you and good to sit here and do this shit.
It is, yeah. My favorite interaction with you ever was, I think, the first time we did the Pretending to Be People mod run of Mothership, and you logged in and I was talking. You're like, "Holy shit, that's what you look like." And I don't know if that was a compliment or not, but I took it as that. But I laughed so hard.
No, I remember that very distinctly because I was like, that's what this motherfucker looks like? Okay, the voice, the look, it doesn't really match, but like, okay, maybe it does. It's very, very dad-ish, and
yeah.
From what I've learned about you, you're a dad. That shit makes sense. So
I was dying laughing at that, so.
Look, I'd put myself on camera right now, but I don't have a shirt on, and good, motherfuckers,
man.
you don't want to see that.
I'm with
that.
I
look crazy and homeless. So. That's all y'all need to know.
So am I. My beard is like almost to my belly button. So,
holy shit! I don't know if I believe that or not, but
it's going. It's been a while, so I don't think I've shaved in like a year just because I'm lazy. I think I'm going to this weekend. I think I'm resolute. I'm eating too much hair when I try to eat food, and so that's the tipping point.
You just got to trim your mustache up,
I do that.
Like I haven't shaved in years, so but it's not. I think it doesn't grow past a certain point, and my guys, they could tell you that because we play on on webcam and we see each other, and I've looked the same now for the better part of 2 years to them. So yeah,
I just it's mine goes outwards. Like, it will poof out, and then it just kind of, like, the middle part will start to go down. But it's just getting a lot. Like, I tried to eat, my wife and I went to get ramen noodles for the first time, like, a couple of weeks ago. And my beard was just like a brothy mess. Like, I had to, like, tuck my beard into my shirt like it was a bib. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, well, hey, that just means you're saving some morsels for later.
Exactly.
My beard does this weird fucking thing. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, anytime I've seen, like, I don't know why, Red Dead Redemption 2, right, comes to mind with the weird crazy styles from, like, the West and shit. Mm-hmm. And, like, sometimes I can grab my beard and I can sort of form it into two different parts that kind of, like, separate off into each other. And I'm like, this looks insane. Why would I do that? Why do I do this as, like, a tick? But like it's weird. Like it's got some density, but then it doesn't, and then it looks crazy at other times. But you know what? That's just me, man.
That's how it works. Do you ever like try styling it? Have you ever done any of that fun stuff?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
I'd fuck it up probably. I mean,
did one
I've
time.
tried. Did it work out?
No, I bought Burt's Beeswax and I put it all on my beard.
Yep, I'm familiar.
And it took me a good hour and a half of shampooing that shit out of my beard before it was completely gone. I was like, I'm going to do like a funny mustache, but I'll just do it for my whole beard. And it fucking hurt. And
that shit looks weird from what I remember.
Yeah,
but,
it's like super thick.
That's pain in the ass shit. That's why I don't fuck with it.
Yeah,
so,
no, you're smart. Don't be like me. I learned that the hard way. So after that was the last time I think I ever did like I'm gonna style my beard in a certain way kind of look. So
this is me learning from my elders.
There you go. Exactly. So. Well, hey, how about you tell the audience about yourself if they haven't heard you? Like obviously your name's Max.
Yeah.
What else we need to know about you, sir?
Well, I'll kind of give like a brief overview of I guess like my history, I guess, with doing tabletop shit, and kind of how everything led to here we are right now. So yeah, hi, I'm Max. I am the main handler and producer for the Delta Green Actual Play podcast, 9mm Retirement Radio. It is set in the 1980s. And it is in the cowboy era of Delta Green, so not the conspiracy and not the modern age. So it's a lot more dangerous. It's a lot more rogue, but I'm sure we can get into all that later. But for me, I've been into tabletop gaming. It's been about like 11 years now. And I got my start with Dungeons and Dragons, probably like many people. For me, it was 5th edition. At the time I was first introduced, I was working at a Chick-fil-A with a bunch of folks who were into it. They invited me and my girlfriend at the time, later my wife, to come and play with them on Sundays. And it then sort of morphed into Pathfinder 2nd edition, which I really enjoyed a lot more than D&D. The choices you could do with the combat to me felt a lot more weighty, a lot more tactical, made you think a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And it was with this same group that I ended up playing the Mutant Zero Year campaign with. We never finished it, but hot damn, that was a great system.
Oh,
and
it's
then
so good.
We did.
So good.
It is. It's I could fucking ramble on and on about the choices we made with that shit. But then with that same group, I did a Blades in the Dark campaign that we did finish. And it was at that point with between those two games, it was a lot more narrative focused, and there's still some of those kinds of mechanics that were like a little crunchy, but not so heavy like D&D and Pathfinder. I was like, oh shit, there's really something to this. Plus they had like a darker feel to them as opposed to, I guess, the more upbeat fantasy settings of Pathfinder and D&D. I know they could probably get pretty dark, but and so did that for a number of years. At some point in 2022, I was on Kickstarter and I saw the campaign for the Old Gods of Appalachia RPG. Monty Cook Games put that out.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing about it, but I was drawn to it. I backed it, and then I learned that it was based off of an audio drama of the same name. And then I started listening to that, and that was really my first exposure to podcast of any kind. Because
interesting.
I'd had the I'd had this whole idea of like, I guess it's a stereotypical idea of, oh, you do a podcast, like everybody does a podcast, sort of, bullshit. But the fucking production value of that show and just the way that they tell a narrative, I got fucking hooked on that like instantly. Joined their Discord, and shout out to that community. They are an amazing group of people that I interact with. But no, that show, Old Gods of Appalachia, it's more folk horror with like a little bit of cosmic horror. They kind of reject like the Lovecraft label, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But it's just two people. It's two writers, and then one of those writers narrates everything. It's set in the like a twisted version of the Appalachia region. So you got like stuff in Kentucky and Virginia, and yeah. So it was around that time. Call of Cthulhu came to my attention, and I do want to make clear I'm not a horror fan at all in any sense. It's just not my thing.
Oh, okay.
I can't consume shit like that.
That's really cool.
I've got an overactive imagination. It can fuck with me, Yeah. It's just not good for my head. But anyways, so one of the Old Gods Discord mods put Delta Green on my radar. And shout out to Jim if you happen to be listening to this. Without you, none of this would be happening. And I remember this shit like so distinctly, man, because like I hadn't run Call of Cthulhu at all at that point, but the description of what Delta Green was so good that I bought the slipcase on sale when they were doing like a Black Friday thing, and it was game over. When it got to me, I sat in bed and I did not move for so many hours reading like the Handler's Guide nearly cover to cover. Never had I like been so pulled into a world with that detailed level of world building in my life. And from that point forward, from late 2022 up until now, I've literally played nothing else, and here we are. You know,
that was the big draw of like finding Delta Green for me. Was I love horror. Well, I like old shitty horror movies. Like I still watch horror movies occasionally, but I'm not as much. Misha and I and a friend of ours used to do a horror podcast where we watched a shit ton of horror movies. And once I found like Delta Green and like, yeah, I tried to get into like Vampire the Masquerade. I played like one session with some people, and I love vampire. Like vampires are my favorite like folklore horror creature. And I don't know, man, like I guess I like more like visceral vampires than I do like the whole mystique of Vampire the Masquerade. Like 30 Days of Night vampires and stuff like that are like what I really like. But yeah,
so it's less of the power dynamics of that game system and more of just like an individual basis of like what a vampire can be.
I think so. Yeah, like I'd love to do a vampire game. Like you know, I when I was planning out Haunted Trails, part of the first idea I had come up with was a vampire like stalking them, and it took place all in a cabin, and this vampire trying to get into the cabin and kill them.
And,
I
mean, it's a classic like setup in that way. It's easy, but it's still effective and it works. Right. And it still can be fucking scary how you play it, depending on how you play it. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's just getting the hardest thing I think with that kind of stuff is getting the players to buy into the fact that they don't know what a vampire is, but they clearly know that what this thing is like outside, like it's a vampire. They fucking know it. It's like any time you play a zombie game, it's like, y'all know these are like there's a lumbering person walking towards you. You know it's a zombie, but you have to play it as not a zombie until you know for sure what it is. So
I got a funny story relating to zombies and Delta Green, but we can probably get into that a little bit later. It involves my current group of guys, you know, who are part of 9mm. But here's like my one reference point for horror movies was the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Ooh.
I was 11 when I saw that. And I was watching it in my friend at the time's basement, and big fucking mistake. I was staying over that night, could not sleep that night. It fucked me up good. Like that was a brutal fucking movie, and in my mind I banished out horror of any kind at that point. Now that not to say though, it's weird. You're thinking, well, Max, you run a Delta Green thing. Why? That's horror. Why the fuck are you doing that? I'm doing it for other reasons. There's other things that game and that system does well that, in combination with, admittedly, my fucked up brain, it just happens to work out. You know, like you don't need like there's so many more real horrors going on in our world that are man-made that you can just tie up with these weird alien beings and entities and shit like that. And then you have a perfect cocktail for so much different shit.
And I also think it helps that it doesn't you don't rely on the like classic tropes of horror movies, right? Like that's a big thing I think I have an issue with Delta Green is when I'm playing it, I'm looking for those story beats of like, I kind of want to do this one as like a slasher, or, oh, this movie comes to mind. I wonder if I can like kind of get a moment like that. Like in the third season or the third arc of the Delta Green I ran where they're at the hospital, my entire vision for that scene is a movie called The Void.
I'm aware.
There's a scene. Yeah. Like that is 100% like what I went for. And like it was cool for me to do that. But at the same time, like it's repetitive and I'm tied to those kind of tropish natures because I've watched and consumed so much horror movies that someone like you who doesn't have all of that taken in has a whole other set of tropes that you get to take and make horror.
Mm-hmm.
versus me, which is like, well, yeah, classically it's gonna be this way because that's how horror is, kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. A lot of my media that I consume is more. I like action shit, but I also enjoy a good drama.
Mhm.
And like in terms of like touchstones and shit, like it's really more when it comes more to like how like I write shit. Like sometimes I'll sitting down and writing a scenario, I will directly pull from certain types of media in terms of like tone and vibe, like Banshee, Preacher, Justified. This is just me being able to plug all these really fantastic, amazing shows that you all should fucking watch because TV media is better than movies, and I will die on that fucking hill.
Are we talking like Preacher, the AMC show that was based off the comic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say. They played around with how they did that shit with the show, but they nailed the tone, and to me that was important.
They
It
don't have
still
the
had
sex police, so that's
ultraviolence.
good. But
No, God, no. That shit was also a product of its time too.
oh yeah, it's Garth Ennis, man. He's really super hit or miss on that shit. So
The Boys being in particular,
1,000%, 1,000 goddamn percent.
the show is so good. And it's a product of its time, but like
Sure.
in a different way, you know? So, God. Fucking Jesus. But, so actually going back to the vampire thing, presumably, you're familiar with Cassidy.
Yes.
That depiction of a vampire, how does that jive with you?
Oh, I love it. I thought it was great. Like that was kind of partially. I didn't know it at the time, but when I made my vampire character, it was very much like Cassidy. He was basically this drifter that was going through life, and his newest scheme to get to feed was it was right around the time of Twilight. So he had set up these Twilight fantasy things on Craigslist where he would give women these vampire fantasies and like meet them in the woods or like shirt off and like feed off of them and give them these kind of fantasies for it. And he was just this like low life scumbag that's like all they gave a shit about was that and like doing drugs. And then I read the comic. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. I make
that
Cassidy.
motherfucker right there. It's him. God damn it. I was not the first to do it.
I can't do an accent like him, but okay,
no.
cool, that works.
No, absolutely not. And the actor that they chose for that fucking played that perfectly. Like they couldn't have picked a better actor to play Cassidy.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's crazy, like the spitting image between like if you take the comic and then you take a shot of him, like especially with the sunglasses and shit.
Oh yeah,
fucking perfect. It's
totally.
it's good shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I tend to watch a lot more dramas because that's like with Delta Green, there's this whole other human aspect to it, like with the home scenes and projection onto bonds and everything. Like that's the kind of shit like I really want to focus on because there's so much horror wrapped up in the personal as well. Like, yeah, you go out and you kill these fucking horrific things that, are breaching reality, but then you got to go back and deal with the aftermath of it. And watching a lot of dramas and how like people react to crazy shit that happens in their lives and then taking like Delta Green and upping that shit to 11, it's fertile ground for lots of different things. Like taking like higher concept shit in my mind. Like, for example, there was this show called The Americans that came out. Matthew Rhys, Kerry Russell,
yeah.
absolute minx. But that's a show where it's like you got two Russian spies living in America during the Cold War undercover, and all the shit that comes with that, and having a family, and how do you make this work? How do you like, what if your kids find out about your double life? And that to me is like a big touchstone in many ways with how I run Delta Green. I actually originally had an idea of like how these guys were like, because we're set in the 80s. Travel agencies are still a thing, and in that show, their cover is a travel agency, and so like I originally had this idea for this directly ripping off of that. I was going to introduce like this couple who sets everything up for the team and everything, but then I was like, nah, I'm going to take this a different way, So there's definitely like I said, TV shows are much better than movies. You spend a lot more time with the characters. and you get to be in their heads a lot more. And you can't really do that so well with a 2.5 hour movie.
Right. The time constraints alone. Yeah. I've tried to teach that with my kid. Like, he really likes the Percy Jackson TV show. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, read the books. Like, I'm sure the books are 10 times better because you have there's more descriptions and everything in it, but he doesn't want to read them. So I'm trying to get him to read something, but
is he like how old is he, if you don't mind?
He's 11 now. He's 11. And my youngest just turned 9, so he's into reading all about science and the universe and shit like that, which is cool. So
I mean, there's still time, man. You know, give it a couple more years. He may pick up the books and
he's got to read every night.
What kind of
that's all that matters.
Motherfucker, you better read, and you better read good.
Yeah, no, that's the rule. If he doesn't read at night, he doesn't get to play video games the next day. So,
that's a good. That's a good rule. Or you threaten to send him to Zoolander school of kids who don't read good and spell or whatever the fuck it is. Something stupid like that. But no, it's like, Dad, that's not real. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Do you do a lot more running of Delta Green, or do you get to play a decent amount in your time?
These days I'm doing nothing but running, man.
Okay. Do you prefer that over playing?
That's it's interesting. The amount. So I like both. I definitely like both. The podcast has really been like my first real opportunity to be a GM and a handler. Okay. I was a player for so many years, and then I wanted to dip my toe into GMing or handling. My only other credentials, I guess you could say, for being a GM, I attempted to run a Fallout role-playing game. I created a whole fucking new region. I set it in New Orleans, right? I set it in Louisiana. I came up with a map and everything. I stole the icons from Fallout 4 and I placed them on this map. And I was like, you guys can go to this place and this place. And I don't know, it came to start playing that system. And I don't know if it was just a combination of they hadn't, it just came out, so maybe there wasn't an errata, or maybe it was just the guys I was playing it with, my in-person table at the time. It just didn't really work. And it's extremely fucking crunchy.
It's Modiphius really 2D20, right?
It is, yeah. But then when you factor in all the other dice that you got to roll for weapons and shit, and
right,
then, like a fucking fat man, you have to roll like 22 fucking D6s or whatever the hell. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know. It was like my first experience with that, with doing that, and it has a lot of potential, but I don't know if like I said, it could have been a bunch of different factors at the time, but it just didn't really work with me. And then D&D was my other. I did a one shot for my wife at the time and her sister and her boyfriend, I think, or something like that. And that worked out pretty decently. Definitely taught me a lot of lessons in how to worry about scaling. And then Delta Green, you don't really got to worry about scaling because shit's going to kill you no matter what.
Exactly. Love it.
It's fantastic. So, but in terms of being a player, I would love to be a player if I can, do it. Jan, who is a cast member on my show, one of my first exposures to playing as a player in Delta Green was with him.
Okay.
And he's run so many different. I've done everything that he's run. Dude is a exceptional handler. He's got, and plus he's fucking smart as shit. Shout out to you, Jan. He's got a PhD in history, so he knows a lot of stuff, and that's perfect for incorporating stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fun fact about that: the very first session we started recording for the show, which would be 2 years ago at this point, he had just graduated and done his dissertation, and the motherfucker fell asleep. Right? During our first session, and on cam, you can see him slowly just starting to sink down in his chair. Slowly but surely. We have a screen. Someone's got I think I got a screenshot of it still. But
that's amazing.
No, with him, he's set shit in like 1950 Indochina, 1950 New Mexico. He's done some modern stuff, and it's a whole crazy gamut of just different stuff.
That's cool.
And he recently did Walking Distance, our side opera on our show.
Okay.
Which was at the time, I didn't. That was the one thing that he had that I hadn't played in, and so it's a great scenario. It was a fantastic time with everybody. I mean, look, man, I would love to be able to play. It's just I got to find the time when I'm not fucking editing my own show, you know?
Right.
So
that was Tom and I were talking about that. Tom from Stories and Lies about doing the Handlers Only show, and just the
oh, God, that was so much fun.
It was a blast, but I have an issue where since I am the handler or like the GM for most of our stuff on the network, I talk the most, and so when I'm a player, I try to be respectful and let everybody else talk because I've talked so much. I'm used to just talking all the fucking time. So I'm like, no, I need to stop and I need to let these other people talk because they're part of this team, like table as well. And then I go as far to like not talk. Like I let everybody else talk and then like I'll randomly sparse in. And I need to be better about that as a player, but yeah.
I'm now listening to I'm now thinking of me just rambling on doing this shit. And I'm like, God damn it, shut the fuck up. Shut up, Maxwell. Shut your goddamn whore mouth, you know, and just, but no, I mean, I don't know, man. Like growing up, I was a pretty shy kid. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, at some point, I guess enough people like, you know, things happen in your life when you grow up as a kid and a teenager, in school and shit. At some point, I reached a point of fuck it. And then I just, you know, if people are going to get what they get from me, and if I talk too much, fine, just fucking tell me and I'll slow my roll, you know? Mm-hmm. But I mean, I really think that may be a curse of all of us who do this shit to a degree. Like, we're passionate about it. We won't shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But that's a good thing, though. To me, I've learned that that's a good thing.
No, totally.
It's okay to, you know, be in that space and to be passionate about shit that you care about. And like, with the Handlers Only stuff, man, like it's interesting being in that dynamic because you know, I was there with Chris Hamjay, Tom, and Vince Kaufman from Black Project Gaming and Mayday Roleplay to a degree. That's like, to me, like that's like an all-star lineup right there. No disparaging to anybody else doing that, but like,
sure, yeah.
In my opinion, we had the best fucking lineup, man. Like it was so much fun, and trying to like and also just trying to figure out a character, you know, like within that span of time and space, right. And seeing how they interact with everybody else, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great experiment. Hopefully eventually you and I will get to do some shit with that. That'd be fun. You know? And then we can talk. Then we can talk each other's ears off and piss everybody else off.
There we go.
Know? So
fuck
it. See, and that's another thing too. Like, I guess, like in terms of style, I this is what I've kind of learned about myself, like doing this for an extended period of time with the particular guys that I'm doing this with, Lucas, Caius, Mike, and Jan, and Harrison to a degree, you know, since he's now a little bit more part of what we're doing, because he's a real life friend of mine, and he, before like any of this was a thing, like I was telling him about Delta Green, and he would probably tell you I would not shut the fuck up about Delta Green. It was like all we would talk about. But all that aside, I've kind of learned, like, in terms of like how my style, I guess I could say, if I have the right group of people, I trust them to be able to just role play. Like, I'll just kind of like, you know, set the scene, and then I may just like gently prompt them, like, you guys want to talk about anything, or do you have anything to say? And then they just fucking take off and run with it until like, such a point that they run out of steam or something else needs to happen, or I'll interject. And it's great to have players like that. I love those guys. I love you guys, because if you're listening to this, cool, great. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I don't know. But it's when you find that the groove, you know, right, with other people, it's amazing. It's fantastic. Totally. And I love doing the shit with my guys that I do, you know. No, 100%. And also, real quick, shout out to Misha. You are the most fucked up individual in this whole entire group, and I love it. You say the most unhinged fucking things imaginable. She's only got
even more unhinged. It's amazing. Like we had our like we did every year. I do like a year review where I sit everybody down. I make like a shitty graph. I'm like, hey guys, here's what we did last year. here's what we did this year. Here's our Patreon growth. Here's some goals. What do you guys want? What do you guys think? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, I'm just going to let you know when I come back, it's going to be nothing but dick and fart jokes. I'm like, what else is going to be? So she's like, no, like, it's going to be more. We're like, I'm so.
No. she's got to upgrade the arsenal. She's got to throw some queefs in there. All right.
Dude,
like, that's.
It's coming. She's going to come when we get the.
Queef and poop.
When we get the God's teeth, she's coming back with a vengeance. So.
Oh, man. I'm excited to hear you guys do that shit. Let's just say at the time of recording this, it has not happened yet, but no. I am excited to hear that. Okay, another hill that I will die on, and fuck it, whatever. There's too many Impossible Landscapes Delta Green runs out there. We need more God's Teeth runs. For fuck's sake, it's I know it's a difficult campaign, it's got difficult subject matter, but fuck it, do it, run it. It's great. It's Stories and Lies is doing a great run right now.
I'm so bummed I can't listen.
Fuck. Yeah. I mean, hell, at least if you get through the first chapter, then go back and listen to their first chapter and be like, oh shit, they did things completely different. That's the amazing shit about this.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get to sit down and go through all their stuff after I get to record our side. So hopefully, tentatively, we're looking at, what is that? Like 5 or 6 months out. So starting like July, we're going to be recording it. So
holy shit,
I think that's the plan.
That is so far away, but then I'm now thinking of the fact that, like, it's weird, like, for me figuring out, like, logistics of doing this shit.
Right.
Because, like, look, life happens, and a good portion of you know, me and others in my cast, we're all get beset with fucking physical and mental bullshit, and so like trying to schedule shit and then trying to like produce shit and put it out in such a fashion, like we have content all the way out until August at this point, and likely more because we do it every 2-week thing.
Okay.
I need that time. Because I sit down and I more thoroughly edit. I want the shit to sound almost like an audio drama, you know, but like everything is all improv. But the beautiful thing is that, you know, you and I can sit here and chop it up, and we have 2 completely different styles of show, and it's still, you know, I love what you do. I love what you guys do with your show. You guys actually, like, chemistry makes or breaks this shit.
Oh, totally.
Which was one of the big reasons why I grabbed the guys that I did. Like, we had all played some Delta Green. I had run a Delta Green game. It was my first online Delta Green game with them, my own original scenario. And I was, you know, I was like, damn, these, I loved playing with these guys, you know, it was great. And, you know, and then I got laid off at the start of 2024 and trying to find a job and shit. And then I, you know, laying on my couch one afternoon, I hit up Lucas and I was like, what if we did a fucking podcast? And then we started thinking up names and shit. And then I was like, all right, let's bring Caius into this, because let's bring Mike, let's bring Jan and all of them in. And like, trying to think up of fucking names. The first name that I came up with was Phone Calls in the Night. And Lucas immediately was like, no, that sounds like some sex shit. Or something. He said something like that, and I was like, "Oh, god damn it, you're right. We can't be doing that." And then I don't remember who came up with 9mm retirement, because that's a phrase synonymous with Delta Green in a way. You know, it's like you go insane long enough, you get the 9mm retirement. I think it was Mike who came up with it. I think, don't quote me on that, guys. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But yeah, and then I was like, ooh, 9mm retirement radio. That sounds fucking badass. And, you know,
that's a great name.
It's a good fucking name. And I am not taking any credit for that. So
I made like a Google Excel sheet, and we started like putting cool phrases that we wanted. And so some of the earlier names that we thought of were the Green Box Chronicles. We had Deadly Knowledge, Deadly Dispatch, Dark Thoughts. This was for the like Delta Green podcast itself. We had Lethal Damage, Target Number, Forbidden Knowledge, Turd Lickers Anonymous. That we got really high votes. Elder Communicate. Then we had Let the Dice Fall, which we were really close to picking that one. And then we had Cult of Polyhedron, Order of the Polyhedron, Push the Roll, which Ross Bryant took that. So, then yeah, so we just had like a bunch of different ones there that we had. And then we thought of like a network name because we always decided that we wanted to potentially break out from Delta, like not just do all Delta Green. So we started thinking of like a network name and whatnot. And that's where we came up with Chaos Engine. We're like, all right, fuck it. Yeah, that's the plan. So yeah,
that's also a good name. Coming up with a good name is very fucking hard. It's a lot harder than you would think. Like you want something that's going to be memorable, but then you also got to like figure out like, how you gonna, turn it into an acronym that's more easily said? Like, we have the problem of, 9mm RR kind of works, but also there's 9mm.
Right.
You guys got Chaos Engine, Chaos Engine podcast really does roll off the fucking tongue.
It's not bad. So. It's not bad. But it was funny, like because we started recording. I think we were almost done with the first season of recording before we settled on a name. I'm like, hey, we're gonna release this in like 2 to 3 months. We need to get artwork made. We need to get a name figured out. So that's why in none of the earlier episodes we really mention a podcast name. I'll do it like in the intro when I talk or whatnot if I need to.
Yeah.
But we never, because we didn't have one. We're just like, fuck it, we're gonna start recording. Let's do it and go. So,
still like honestly that, like I said, going back earlier, like it speaks really to just the style of your guys' show in comparison to ours. But yet, we make it work and we can still exist in that space together. And I love that you guys have been doing other shit. Like you've done 13th Age. Traveler,
edition,
Stars Without Number.
Yeah.
I will admit, I came on late. I think I started with your guys' From the Dust run. And then Jake,
interesting.
And then Jake did The Good Life.
Yeah.
And both of those were great. Really enjoyed, like, again, you guys have all your shenanigans, and shenanigans are great. But like just the way you guys ran, like I think you ran From the Dust, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah. Like that whole final episode where they're like in the cavern stuck with like Lilith and everything, and it was good. That was really good shit, man. Like that's like it's great when you can strip away all the jokes and then really just dial in on the horror aspect of stuff, because it gets real fucked up real fast. And then Jake did I think it was Jake, right?
Yeah, he did The Good Life.
Yeah. That in and of itself, having, my problem with Delta Green Publications is I will never be able to play in them because I have no choice but to read them. I have very little self-control. So I was already familiar with the material, and that is a sandboxy fucking scenario.
Oh, yeah.
It's a perfect encapsulation, I feel like, of what doing this shit is so much fun. That was a weird way to say that. How, why we do this shit, because like there's so many different approaches, so many different avenues that you can take, and the way Jake ran it and the way like he paced everything out was really well done on his part. So
he is such a good antagonist. Like he plays that such a great antagonist,
asshole
like
character.
Smarmy. Oh god, he was so good at that. Like
I think it was the fucking butler. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a hot second. Yeah. Fucking
the butler and the cops. It's just like, God damn, he was so good at it.
Fucking yes. Big shout out to Jake. For
love the kid. He's a great kid.
Love the what? Come on, he's got to be the same age as you.
No, I'm the oldest one on the podcast. I got a good Dad. 7
All right,
years.
Dad.
I got a good 5 to 7 years on everybody on the podcast. So
that's fair. That's fair.
They're all babies.
Look, so. I'm turning 35 this year, and
that's a good year.
Jan likes to say that he's approaching the wrong side of 40 because he's also getting on the upper edge of that. And like in comparison, like I think Caius is like the youngest among our number. He's the baby. Shout out to you, Caius. We love our little baby.
I think everybody is like mid 30s right now. They're like 33 to 35 range. So I'm definitely the older.
We're all old fuckers.
Right. That's the thing. But
older fuckers. I should say.
I mean, that's about the age I felt like I became an adult, honestly. Like that 33 to like 35 range where I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I own a house now. Like, I gotta be a fucking adult and do this shit because the economy collapsed and I was able to afford a place to live now. That's kind of cool. And it was just weird, so
I mean, on that note, man, like when me and my wife at the time like decided to, you know, go in and do the shit, we got our house like right before COVID happened. So like the interest rate on the house is super fucking low. It hasn't changed at all. Although the mortgage itself, you know, the
keeps
fucking
scraping.
Banks and bullshit. Yep. Fucking dickheads. But that's a whole other subject in debate and such.
What's your favorite thing about Delta Green? Like, could you encapsulate Delta Green, your favorite thing, into like a short sentence? Is it possible?
The lore.
Okay, nice.
All the world building, all of the different, the history of Delta Green. Just how it takes the Lovecraft mythos and it weaves into it government conspiracies. Let me put it this way. Let me back that up and separate those two things out. Conspiracy theories is a whole other thing. I personally enjoy conspiracy theories just because it's like people need to me it's like religion in a way. Like people need to believe in something to explain the unexplainable. I'm not a religious person, so that sort of thing has no bearing on me. And to me, it's the same with like conspiracy theories. They need why is the world so fucked up the way it is? It's the Illuminati, you know. And then while there's no Illuminati in Delta Green, Majestic is probably, you know, the closest thing to it. I don't want to maybe get into too spoilery territory because there are people who may be listening that want to play and have those things revealed to themselves, etc., etc. But it's just the whole idea of, you know, there's two different Delta Greens, and that's not a spoiler for anybody, you know, who has any inkling of the shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's fantastic, and that's my favorite thing about it, and that's why I said when I got the book, I sat there and I could not put it fucking down, man. I was reading like nearly cover to cover with that. It's real good. It's good stuff.
That's what I love about, and I said this to Tom. Tom and myself and Cody, we did another Handlers interview. And that's the thing I said I love about your show and Tom's show is that you guys are very lore specific. Like, you guys are very good at that. Whereas, like, I don't care about lore. Like, I'll make my own fucking lore up that will be, like, adjacent to whatever they have going on. But I love that you guys are able to take those, like, factual, tangible things that are existing in this universe and work with them. And I don't know if I have a hard time doing it or I don't care enough. But I'm like, yeah, fuck it, my Delta Green does this. Like, that's just how it is. Like, that's how we're going to fucking roll. And I love that you guys are so focused.
That's okay.
100%. But I love to be able to listen to something that is passionate and gives a shit about the lore. And, like, I told Tom, like, I was extremely nervous when he asked me to be Dr. Camp for their show. Because I was like,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I don't know a whole lot about the character. I don't read the lore a whole. Like, I know he exists, and I know all that, you know. But, like, I was just like, I felt like that's a big ask. I was like, I hope I live up to what his expectations are of this character, because I'll just make up whatever I want him to be when I do it. But I know Tom is, and that group is very focused on the lore and how everything exists in that world. And so yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. It was so intimidating to have to be such a big figurehead, and then having to do that scene with
the only reason I asked you is because
of that.
You did it for Stories and Lies.
Right.
Yeah. You did a great job. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal that. So
well, I appreciate it. But yeah, I just remember like that first bit of doing that. And then when they're like, hey, Taylor wants to do a scene with you, like, as like, you know, talking to, you know, I was like, oh shit, like, we're just going to completely improv this. Like, I haven't read enough about Dr. Camp to like, to feel like I could actually like speak on his behalf. So, it was really cool. I love that scene with being able to do that with Taylor, like at the side of by the house and everything. I thought it was great. Loved it to death. But it was definitely it's definitely intimidating the first time he asked me to do it. I was like, all right, we're in it. This is real deal. Holy shit.
So I want you to cut this, but I want to tell you this. No, you're going to be doing something similar again for our show down the line.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun given everything that we're doing for our Fourth Arc right now. And, it's going to be the same kind of thing. It's going to be a home scene.
Yeah. Whatever you need me to do, I'm there.
Hell yeah. We'll get it set up. You can This is the end part of where you can cut it, so we can get back to our regular conversation now. Yeah, when you talking about the lore and everything, like, and how we do it. That's, to me, like, I'm still of the mind that lore can be bent in a way.
Sure.
I like what's been established, and I want to I want to respect what's there, but also work around and fill in the gaps of things and provide explanations as to why maybe certain things happened. And the Cowboy years in particular, you know, we started our show in mid 1988. I was not alive then, so I have to do a lot of research and a lot of looking into things, and it's very interesting to try and run a game set in a time period where all these advances in technology haven't happened yet.
Right.
They didn't really start to happen until like the
2000s.
early-ish. I mean, I would even argue the 90s. Like there was a
there
rapid
was
growth
pretty
in
big boom
technology
there.
then.
Yeah. Like
I
I
mean,
remember
you were
getting
probably alive
dial-up
then, you
internet.
could tell me.
I was, yeah. I remember getting dial-up internet I remember getting cable television. Like I remember
Jesus.
getting and being able to watch like Beavis and Butthead. I remember getting AOL and having to log in and go into the chat rooms.
I remember the days of AOL. I am alive and old enough to remember those days, and those were dark days.
Do you remember this? Do you remember playing a PC game that used the same phone line, so your mom would kick you off because she had to call somebody? So you'd be playing like Duke Nukem Online with a friend, and you could get kicked off.
No,
your mom needed to use the phone line.
By that time, I thankfully living with my parents. High-speed internet was a thing. I was still able to play Call of Duty. Very first Call of Duty, old school Call of Duty.
I'm gonna date myself here.
Okay.
This is probably the nerdiest thing I could probably ever say. My Xbox Live account is a day one Xbox Live account.
Damn. Zam. That is holy shit.
Like I've had that account since the very launch of Xbox on the Xbox Live on the original Xbox. Because I remember playing Halo and having to log into like Game Radar and play people on Blood Gulch and shit like that to play against people online and stuff like that. So
that is crazy work, because my only experience from that point in time was doing it split screen style with people in person.
Yep, we used to do that all the time.
Yeah. Damn.
Senior year of high school, I remember getting my Xbox. I was a senior in high school. I picked it up. I hid it in my truck. I drove home at lunch, and then we would have.
Why would you gotta hide that shit?
Because I had it in my truck at school. I didn't want people like breaking it, so I had to cover it with blankets in my truck.
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought it was.
I went and picked it up. I went and
like
drove to the mall. Like they opened up at like 6 a.m. and school started at like 7:30. So I drove, maybe I got there at 7. I picked it up before I went to school. Hid it in my car. I was like reading the Halo pamphlet booklet in class. And then I drove home. So yeah,
damn.
I was a fucking nerd. I still am a nerd, but
I mean, look at us. Who would have thought the Paul Rudd meme? You know, like look at us. No, but fuck, dude. Like, tangents. They're a beautiful thing.
They do, yeah.
Lore. I like to, as I was kind of going back to that. I play around with that. I like to explore that, and like doing something set in the 80s. And then not, having to research and be like, was this piece of technology around? Was this around back then?
Right.
And then,
yeah,
like it's fun to try and do something a little different and a little outside of your wheelhouse, and that affects how you run the game too. Technology really does impact an investigation in this type of investigative game. Like,
totally.
You can pull out there's language skills, but yet nowadays, as so wonderfully done by Chris and Handlers Only, I just have a tablet and an app that you can put shit in and it can translate, and I'm just like, well, fuck me, so much for the old school method of, you hunt down somebody, you read it out, and hopefully your interpretation is correct. Like it can make or break like the change in style of that game. So yeah, the lore is fantastic.
No, it absolutely is. Like I've read it. Don't get me wrong. I'm aware of the general base. Like my favorite, I really want to run a game during the Ghouls and Hurricane Katrina. I think that would be an awesome scenario.
Oh God,
that is my favorite. Favorite
yes.
time period of that. So,
I mean, it's so this isn't really it's not. Nah, this is not okay. So like, I actually took that and used that as the basis for the in between period for Impossible Landscapes. Caius
nice.
is very familiar with this. I had that be as like one part of that cell's like history.
Cool.
Was them like, you know, like they were down there as part of like the ghoul thing, and now they have this mobile RV as like an operating base that they use to travel around in for it's in that, and they still use it in Impossible Landscapes in the back half of it. So still need to get back to running that game. But yeah, great way to fuck with Caius. It's great. Love you, buddy. So
what's the hardest aspect of Delta Green for you?
The hardest aspect. So this may be more generally a more general thing.
Mm-hmm.
Improv.
Okay.
Because improv is not a skill set that I had or have. It's still something that I feel like I'm developing. And this is a great system and game to do that with. But like, yeah, I can set up something, but then when one of these other silly motherfuckers comes and does something that completely upends what you have in mind, and you've already tried to figure out all the different parameters ahead of time, you're like, well, shit, fuck. Now I gotta figure this out. Especially when it comes to the rolls. If somebody rolls a 100, that can do all sorts of fun things, but then it can also upend things in other fucking ways that leads to other fun things. So it's like trying to adapt to that. I've gotten better at it. It's just like, it's also one of those things where it's like if a character has a particularly high skill, and yeah, depending on the circumstances, they don't have to roll it, but sometimes you need them to roll it. It's a stressful situation. And even if they were to roll this higher skill and they fail it, and then it's like, well, shit, I thought you were going to succeed on that, you son of a bitch. Now I don't know what to do. So then it's like, again, it's the improv aspect of it all, you know?
Right.
Like, it's not an easy... It's definitely something you develop, and it's not some people are just innately able to do that, like stand-up comedians. They can just fucking do that shit.
Yeah, totally.
And others of us have to develop it, you know? So
yeah, it's one of the things I love about Delta Green is that, yeah, if you have a skill high enough that you just fucking pass. And I love that, because I'm like, cool, yeah, I don't want to make, like, if I don't have a good enough reason for you to fail and you have a high enough score, I'm just going to give it to you. Like, I don't have a good enough failure option here to give you.
Oh, for sure.
Cool, you pass. Like, I felt like doing the second half of doing the right-hand closes with Chris and them. I felt a lot of our stuff was like, yeah, there's no real time crunch here. You have a high enough skill. I'm just going to give it to you. Like, there's no point in rolling. Delta Green is the first game that forced me to realize that the players are playing competent people within that world. And until that point, I hadn't really thought of it that way. But as a game, playing these, like law enforcement characters and shit like that, it's like, or doctors, it's like, I don't expect you to know medical procedure, but your character does. So your character's fucking competent. And so let's just get rid of this. Like, I'm not going to surprise gotcha because you don't know the proper term. Like, your character knows what they're doing. Roll the dice, and we'll just we don't need to go into a whole lot of detail, but you do stuff. And it really changed a lot how I look at games now. Like, every time, I'll even preface it when I go into a game.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when we play this game, you are competent. Like Mothership, you are competent. You know what you're doing. You are a smart individual in this world. You understand the parameters that you as a player might not. So let's not. I'm not
a silly dumb fuck who, if you roll a 1, like in D&D, you're just gonna look absolutely ridiculous and you're gonna trip over this shit.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck it may be.
Right. So it's definitely. I've loved that aspect of it. It's been my favorite thing of that Delta Green has kind of imprinted on me. Yeah, even then, like, I'll still do that in other games now where I'm just like, yeah, you got skill high enough? Fuck it, you're good. Like, let's just move on. Like, if you don't need to, it gets that OSR kind of mentality, too. If, like, you don't need to roll if there's no consequences, then just give them what they need and keep going. Like, Mothership. I fucking love Mothership for the simple fact that, like, you tell them everything in the room. You don't hide anything. And, like, if there's a secret door, if they ask for it, you tell them it's there. If they don't ask, then they don't see it. But I love that aspect of it because it's just like, yeah, I don't want this. Because we both know what that devolves into. As soon as that first trap goes off, they check every square foot of every fucking room for the rest of the campaign because they don't want to set off a trap again.
Yep. And then you got to lie to them a lot better and set yourself up to be a lot more clever and such. That's the other thing. I also think the hardest aspect of Delta Green also, which I think it's just also inherent of the nature of the game, is keeping all the cool shit secret.
Yes.
Because there's so much cool shit, and it's like you really want to have those rug pull moments, because horror relies so much on the suddenness of something bad happening or something crazy happening. And it's like, most of us in our cast are pretty well, I think after me, I want to say Lucas and Jan are the most knowledgeable when it comes to Delta Green shit, followed by Mike, and Caius deliberately stays away from stuff because he wants to enjoy it whole cloth, which is great. I love that.
Definitely,
at least I have one person in there who can do it. So then it's like, that's why I enjoy doing so much fan stuff and fan created stuff like the DG Scenario Database. Everybody listening out there, wonderful site. I think I saw something all over on I think it's on NATO where it's like it was 1,000 entries had just been hit recently. So there's 1,000 scenarios of all different kinds out there. If you're ever in need of running stuff, I have grabbed so many different things from there, from submissions over the years to create our main campaign. It's wonderful. Use it. But still, for me now at this point, I have to find stuff, or I have to rely on my guys to run stuff for me to play in, because they're a lot better improv and coming up with shit on the spot. And that's how I know I'm going to be in for a fun experience, because I don't know what the fuck's going to come. But yeah, definitely for me, I think that's just for anybody trying to buy into this, because it's like,
sure,
as soon as you read the handler's guide, you're a handler at that point because you know too much, which is kind of ironic given the nature of the game, I feel like. So,
no, absolutely, I 100% agree there. So besides Delta Green, do you have a dream system that you would love to play or run in? I mean, you get to play Blades of the Dark, which is another fucking dope, awesome system, but do you have anything out there that you're just really jonesing to play in or run?
God, Cyberpunk Red.
Yes.
I have often said that if I wasn't doing a Delta Green podcast, it would be a Cyberpunk Red podcast, but it would be set in 2075. It would not be set in the 2040s like the setting for that game is, because, you had that setting. I love that game. The video game came first before the system. I know the system's been around for a hot second, but love sci-fi stuff. I could list you a bunch of different things.
Okay.
Free League does a lot of great stuff. They have a sci-fi RPG called Coriolis: The Third Horizon.
Yeah.
They also recently put out The Great Dark, which
that's the second edition, right? That's the second one.
It's a sequel. It's
okay,
a
gotcha.
completely different vibe, completely different system. Well, it's the same zero-year engine system, but you are like planet divers or like explorers rather than this whole Arabic space opera kind of deal that Third Horizon has. And I picked that up tonight, actually.
Totally.
I mean, also, I want to say, just because, people listening, we have a coffee page, right? And our whole thing with the coffee page, besides, giving you guys behind the scenes look at our show, the intent also is to run other games and systems and then like short little things and put them on there for free. I want to keep all that shit separate from Delta Green. I want the main feed to just be Delta Green. But I'm currently in the process of trying to cook up some different things. Lucas wants to do a Cthulhu Dark run through of this.
Ooh,
so yeah. So for those not familiar, Lucas is German, and there is a lot of Call of Cthulhu stuff that is popular over there. He's run this particular scenario like at least 15 different times, and it's so obscure that it's from an old German fanzine that you can't really, buy or find online anymore. And it's all in German, so it's not like there's an English translation of it. So it would kind of be a unique, niche, original thing that maybe not a lot of people know of or have heard.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's something that we're trying to work on doing. I would like to do like a Cyberpunk Red one-shot at some point, but really actually what has more fully formed right now is doing a Blades in the Dark run. I have corralled Lucas and Mike and Nick Sayers from Dead Letter Bureau.
Nice.
Nick would be our guest. Trying to do things to fit in with people's schedules, and really, I just want to have more stuff to do. So
I'm with you.
If of those two things right now, we're gonna likely have Cthulhu Dark and Blades in the Dark. That is going to be called Duskfall Diaries. Duskfall is the name of the city.
Good name. Love
Yes.
Blades of the Dark is such a cool system.
Which
I fucking love it.
it is, and I'm gonna. I know this is about this. This is you talking to me, but I'm so about community, right? Like I support. I'm a fan of things first. I say that to as many people as I can, which means I will shout out other people until I fucking my lungs
absolutely.
give out. Y'all
what we
need
do
to
here,
check
man.
out. Y'all need to check out Haunted Halls. It's a
great.
Blades in the Dark.
Great show.
Oh, you've been listening. I think I
You
told
turned
you
me
about
on to it. Yeah.
I
You
did. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know if you. Hey, I don't know what people's schedules are, but yeah, great group of people. They have a very small Discord, but they're active on it. They talk with us. They're cool people. I've pulled Bobby and Bonnie to do some voice work for my show.
Tight.
Yeah. That's coming out in another couple of months. They're good people. Blades in the Dark is a great system. Y'all should check them out. I will always push other people's shows because there's so much great shit out there. There's so much great shit out there. So, but
100%.
I mean, I have a lot of Free League shit over on my shelf. I have, I have mostly of everything. I got Mutant Zero Year, Blade Runner, Vicen, I think it's Vicen. Picked up
Vacid or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of has a similar style of vibe where there's like
A little bit.
there's investigations, but then there's creepy horror creatures and shit, and you build up a base and everything, which I think is really cool. There's so many systems, not enough time.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've got Twilight 2000's the only Free League I have currently. Like physical, tangible copy.
That
I gave
World War
away
III
my
base thing. Okay.
Yeah, I gave away my Forbidden Lands because I didn't think I was going to play it a whole ton after I bought it.
Gotcha.
It's I want to do Twilight 2000. I think it'd be really fun to run, but it's also kind of tough with the given state of the world that I don't really want to bring that real life horror and drama to stuff if people don't want this is an escapism from all that dumb shit that we're currently going through in this country and the world. But
on that note, fuck ICE. And I will forever say fuck ICE. And
yes,
that is
all my homies say fuck ICE.
There you go. So you've heard it here, and hopefully nobody comes knocking on our door because that's the state of the world these days too. But putting that aside, what about you? There's got to be something you're jonesing to run.
I am really toying with the idea of doing a Mothership podcast. I don't know if I want to do it separate from the podcast we're doing now or whatnot. I don't really want to do two podcasts. That's the thing.
Continue Orbital Decay. Just throw it
I'm trying
that series.
I'm absolutely trying to. I want that to be with the boys from Stories and Lies. So
that's fair.
And so I got that kicking around. I've been reading a lot of Shadow Dark, so I'm really getting into Shadow Dark. I'm going to start writing a scenario, like a little mini campaign for that, which I think is going to be fun. Other than that,
this is the depth and range of things that I know. Okay, I know nothing about Shadow Dark other than I know that Charlie of This Line Isn't Secure is running a game of that over on this is sad that I connect things this way. Is running a game of that over on the Dead Letter Bureau Discord for a few different people. And somebody on Stories and Lies' Discord apparently snapped a picture with the creator of Shadow Dark. So
it's like OSR 5th edition D&D. So it's a really stripped down version of like 5th edition. I'm just going to put it out there.
Okay.
So you've got your D20 rolls, but you've got like 4 classes. But it's also very much OSR where like if you're a rogue, you automatically spot traps. If you say you're looking for traps, you automatically know where they are.
Fantastic.
But the really cool mechanic of it, I think, is really interesting to me. I didn't like it at first, but the more I'm kind of like reading it, I'm like, okay, is when you go into nobody has dark vision.
Okay.
Every class. So you have to have torches. And
Makes
torches
sense.
last 1 actual hour. Like you start a timer and then that's how long that that torch lasts. So you have like even if you're in combat, anything else, time exists weird in the Shadow Dark. So you have a tangible hour of time for that light before you have to get another source.
So like you got to actually set up like a timer, like a visible timer.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
See, I kind of like doing that. With,
right.
with
and I think that pushes the
things.
characters of like, no, you have this finite set time limit. Like, what are you going to do? Like, because
that creates its own
much as I
sense
love
of
the
horror.
guys, they fucking will talk about every plan under the sun before they go do something. So,
that's the difference. That's the difference between your show and mine. I get to cut all that bullshit out, and
I've been trying to do better about that, but yeah,
that's okay. Shenanigans, like I said, shenanigans are an important part of any table, and sometimes.
Well, like our Pathfinder Second Edition game, they'll talk for like 15 minutes sometimes with a strategy or a plan, like just getting every little detail down to the nitty gritty. I'm like, I wish we were playing Blades of the Dark so I could say, stop. Sounds like we're doing a score. Roll some fucking dice. Let's go.
Yeah,
There's also. I think I've said this on a couple episodes of stuff, but my original pitch for this game for the podcast I wanted to do was a Blades in the Dark spinoff called Brinkwood. And the idea is you are all subjects of a vampire that rules this land of Brinkwood. And you escape and you go into the woods and you get picked up by the Fae. And they give you these magical masks which imbue you with powers.
Okay.
So each mission you go on, you could wear a different mask. Like you don't have to always be the same mask. But every vampire is a stand-in for one of the ills of the world. So capitalism, all that, like all those kind of things.
Rape, murder,
Exactly. And so you're there to overthrow these vampires and like take out their dealers and like it's all like but Blades in the Dark style. So like your missions are like I'm gonna go attack like this blood bank, so they're gonna be hurt now and then go do this and this. But it's like this weird medieval fantasy, but with vampires ruling everything. It's really fucking cool.
That does sound like a pretty cool idea. Which don't know if maybe you saw this. There's going to be another supplement for Blades in the Dark called Blade 68, and it's got like more of this noir vibe to it. I'm fucking excited for that. That shit looks like it's going to be fire. So.
I just got Deep Cuts, like the physical copy, so I'm getting ready to read that after I get my fill of Shadow Dark. So
I was trying to find a physical copy at games and stuff, and they did not have it. And apparently, though, they did get Blades in the Dark copies, which they didn't have when I was there a few days ago, but now they have it this time. I don't know. I'd love to play Blades in the Dark. Like if I could find someone to run it, I really want to try it because I have a really cool character in mind. But I don't know anybody who's like runs that style of game. Like, look, man. If this whole Dustfall Diaries thing, works out, and
you let me know.
I can rotate in a guest. I got you, fam. I got you.
I thought a pretty interesting character that I think would be an interesting way to explore.
What's fun about that too? There was a playbook jam that was done like 6 years ago, and there's actually some pretty good original unique playbooks that people came up with. Some of them are obviously rips on existing media, but some of them fit the vibe of the world and are really cool. Like there's one that's like an ink rake, like the journalists and everything. I'm like, that would be really fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, some of them are like maybe like reskins of things, but like
sure, whatever. Like just give people their options. So.
Oh yeah, let people do their thing.
That's pretty much been my. I haven't been listening to a whole ton of podcasts. Like, Haunted Halls, I'm banking up their episodes because I've been listening. I've got a half hour left of the 1619 Project audiobook. And then I'm out of audiobooks until I get my next credit. So I'm going to, power through their backlog there. So,
I wish I could get back into reading, like I know audiobooks are a thing, but like that also, I mean, depending on the platform, I guess, like, yeah, audiobooks exist, but it's just like, I don't know, like it's, I like to read and sit there and like absorb things at my own pace. And
sure.
An audiobook at that point to me is just like listening to an audio drama, which I mean, I guess that's the point, but I like having a book in my hands personally.
Right. I just started reading Dungeon Crawler Carl as well, like a physical book. So.
Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I think, wait a minute. You saying that sounds somewhat familiar because I think one of my best friends has all the books for that shit. He says it's a great series.
It's the latest Nerd Rage, so I figured I'll give it a shot. So
he because he's a big reader too. and he does the audiobook thing, like, because he has a decent commute to his work, so he just throws something on, but then he also will, take and read. Growing up, I read a lot of military political thrillers. Like, I was big on Tom Clancy. That shit was dense. And also, I mean, setting aside, it didn't realize at the time, and it's weird that it didn't really affect my view now, but, whatever politics, like, the dude may have had. But, I mean, Rainbow Six, man. Rainbow Six is the quintessential.
Fantastic book.
Yes. And who knows what he would think now, knowing that Rainbow Six Siege has become what it's become, which I love that game. But, God, yeah, I wish, I don't know what it is, man. I don't have it in me anymore to sit down and read, which is, I think is kind of sad. But the thing is though, I actually can read pretty good. Like, you throw something in front of me and I would barely fuck it up. I am pretty proud of that about myself. So like, maybe it was because I read such big, dense books when I was younger, but no,
What was the friend's name? Ding Chavez. That's what. Yeah. I was like, who's the fucking character? It's like Ding, the best friend. So.
John Clark and all them. Yeah, those motherfuckers were around for a while.
I read that book, and then I read Without Remorse was the next Tom Clancy book I read, and I loved Without Remorse. That's probably my favorite one.
That was great. So, the Jack Ryan TV series. On that note, pretty damn good. Krasinski played a good Jack Ryan. I do recommend that for folks out there.
So one of the things that we always do on this show is I love music, and so I always ask people about what they've been listening to. And I think you were one of the few people I know who listens to a lot of hip hop.
I do.
Rap music.
I'm a huge hip hop fan. Yes.
Like, I think you and I, we like the new Clips album has been, that was my favorite album of the year last year. The new Tyler, the Creator was really great. So I want to know, what have you been listening to lately? That's it doesn't have to be hip hop, but just in general, you've been listening to anything good recently?
So it's funny how in the last several years I've kind of like listened. I've been listening to music less because podcasts kind of consume things, but man, so I can trace my hip hop journey back to middle school.
Hold on, let me guess. Immortal Technique.
He came later. It wasn't him.
Okay.
Though.
All right.
My first, I mean, this Eminem, obviously, because white boy doesn't get into that kind of stuff. But then 50 Cent, G Unit, Young Buck, basically all those dudes. Then, I met someone online, back in the old days of that old type of internet. I got introduced to Aesop Rock. Yes. Love Aesop Rock. Dude put out 2 albums this year. Black Hole Super Red, I think, and I can't remember the other name of it right now. But Labor. Fantastic fucking album. It opened my mind up to so many other possibilities of what rhymes, of how people can construct rhymes. I used to write my own shit and record my own shit, and then, at some point I realized I'm not going to get famous off of this. I had stupid ideas in my head because I was young, but I was influenced by a lot of those. I had no like hard life or whatever, but I wrote from the perspective of what I knew. But at that point, so it was like Aesop Rock, then Necro, the whole Def Rap thing.
I remember getting a tape from him outside of a show.
Really? Damn.
Really. I had an old, it was the demo with like I Need Drugs and shit like that.
Holy shit. That is, and the music video for that song in particular of his uncle just smoking crack and just being on heroin. It's wild.
I remember it was I think I still have the CD. But yeah, I was outside of a show in Seattle and he was like walking by, passed out a demo. I think it might have been like Cottonmouth Kings or something like that, but he was like fucking handing out his demo. I was like, yeah, man, you're okay. So.
That's crazy. What year was that?
Oh, it was like 2000, 2001 era. I think
because that's when I think that's when he put out Gory Days. I think it was 2000.
It was about that time. So,
but then Ill Bill, his brother, to me, much better lyricist. I think a lot more versatile. I liked his flow a lot better. Immortal Technique entered the picture at that point. Tech 9,
I learned
Vinny
Ill Bill
Paz, Jedi
through
Mind
like
Tricks.
Jedi Mind Trick. Yep, exactly. That's who I learned of those guys through.
The way that Stoop the Enemy of Mankind, the production half of that, just literally to me, amazing, luscious sampled soundscapes, dude. Like the way he just like that's the thing. Like in the world of hip hop, it's like producers never talk about where they find their samples because that's like a sin, you know. So it's like you could recognize something, but they're never going to tell you where the fuck it's from or who the artist is or whatever. I feel like probably nowadays that may be different given all the different technologies that are out there. So it's like, but man, Stoop's like. His samples combined with Vinny's like raw lyricism and shit. And yeah, he has some problematic lyrics back in that day. He would use the F slur a lot, but he's grown out of that since then. It's funny too, because I don't know if it's just the fact of them getting older, but there was a certain point in time and a certain shift. I think it was probably around like sometime after 2016. No, I know exactly when the shift was. It was around the time of COVID. Both of them just start like Bill started wearing a grill in his mouth, so his words are a little bit less clear, and Vinny started rapping a little bit more like offbeat, seemingly intentionally as sort of his thing now. But when before he was like snappy and perfect on beat and everything, like Army of the Pharaohs shit, man. Army of the Pharaohs with like Apathy and Self-Titled, Ryu, Dope Nixon, all those guys, man. Like Army of the Pharaohs is the fucking underground rap supergroup in my mind. Like, it's banger after banger after fucking banger, and they sadly haven't put an album out in like 12 years at this point, but they've got like 4 albums out, and all that shit is re-listenable as hell. Jay-Z was in my rotation for a bit. I did listen to the Clips album. I'm weird, right? Like, I didn't grow up listening to Tupac or Biggie. I respect them. I respect their pedigree.
I didn't either. I did not either. So,
but I recognize their influence on hip hop. I mean,
sure,
and Dr. Dre as well. NWA. Really, for me though, the ones in that vein from that era, Big L and Big Pun. Okay. It's a shame they're both fucking dead. But man, when I heard Ebonics, by Big L, great. The way he just like was able to just do wordplay and say that this is that, and just the way he was just flowing over the beat, it fucking, you know, captivated young me, you know, like teenage me, back in the day. And Big Pun, being as fucking fat and shit that he was, like, he was a monster over a fucking beat. Like, Capital Punishment, fantastic fucking album, and I think that was the only one he put out when he was alive. But give me a second here. I can't remember the name off the top of my goddamn head of this one. The Dream Shatterer. Dream Shatterer. Fantastic song. Probably my favorite song on that album. Every song on that album is great, but that and Twins with Fat Joe, which is basically taking Dre's deep cover and they're rapping on a variant of it. Just that's nice. Like dead in the middle of little Italy, little did we know they riddled some middlemen who didn't do diddly. Like that's just a fucking famous synonymous series of rhymes that like it's stupid good stuff. People don't give. I'm sorry, man. I could go on and on about this shit and not let up. Like the people say, "Oh, it's not anybody can do that." No, the fuck you can't.
No,
it's
you
with
can't.
anything.
Like,
it's anything out there.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes persistence, precision, and people like making beats. That shit's not easy either because
it is not.
You could create original sounds. But then you have the people that sample shit and chop it up and loop it up.
Mm-hmm.
There's this guy, this hip hop producer named Rob Victim. He does, hold on. He does this whole different series of things. Like he'll take movie themes and TV show themes and flip them. But then he'll take unexpected shit like and do a series like shit you shouldn't sample. And he took the Chili's baby back thing, I want my baby back, and turned that into something hard and hardcore and listenable. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like and it shouldn't work, but it does. Like he took the Twin Peaks theme and flipped that into something really dope.
Nice.
All that shit's on his Instagram page. You know, like it takes real skill to do that shit, and it makes me mad when people are like, "There's no skill involved with that." Not true at all. You know.
No. Yeah, we went and saw Wu-Tang Clan and Run the Jewels. Wu-Tang Clan is like that.
I remember you
they're
saw
one of my
that. And I was
favorite.
fucking jealous. Run the Jewels is great.
Like, Run the Jewels is probably like my favorite current rap group, like out there. I love a Big
we need
Mike,
a new album from them.
like or Killer Mike, LP, like both of them fucking kill it on everything they do. Like, if you have you heard the Coup? Have you listened to the Coup at all?
The Coup? No, I don't think.
They're check them out. Boots Riley is he's in it. He did the movie Sorry to Bother You. So if you see that movie, he's in the. It's called the Coup. So the COUP.
I'm looking. I'm googling that now.
Genocide and Juice is a really good album, but they're like just fucking crazy political rap. But I will say if you have not seen the movie, sorry to bother you, it is probably one of the best films I've ever seen in my life. Like top 10
check
for
it
sure.
out. I'll have to. There's this fucking group. There's this fucking group that Jan listens to. I think it's Death Grips.
Yeah, I don't really like them.
Well, sorry.
I've tried, but I've honestly given it a shot, but I don't know. Like, and this is someone who like
they have good lyrics. I like their vibe.
I will give them a listen again because there's this band called Chat Pile that the first time I listened to them, I did not like it because it's just super abrasive. But their new album they released is like it's called Cool World. God's Country was their first, or God's Plan was their first, and the Cool World was their second. I might flip the names around, but it's a lot better. And
Noise rock and sludge
like,
metal. Interesting.
Okay, I can get into this now. And so then I went back and listened to the old album. Like, okay, I see the talent, the instrument into this. So but
I do listen.
Yeah,
to
Chat Pile
shit
is not for everybody.
that.
I'll tell you that. Like, it is.
Okay,
it's fucking wild. But yeah. So we went and saw. I remember we went and saw like Wu-Tang and Run the Jewels, and I know quite a bit of Run the Jewels albums. Like Run the Jewels 2, it's my favorite album. I'll say I know most of the verses, but there's like one line where it's like y'all can run naked. Y'all can run naked backwards through a field of dicks. And I remember my wife just like dying laughing next to me because she's never really listened to it. So yeah,
the wordplay, the crazy shit. Like, I mean, oh god, I can pull off like off the top of my head. It's fucking god damn it, I can't now. It's blanking on me, son of a bitch.
I think my favorite line is it's like from Lie Cheat Still, where it's like bored in a little shop of horror and I can't even afford to rent it. Where's the exit? Want to chop it up? Let's talk it up like Exacto Touch. Like, what's the rush? I was like, holy fuck! Like, it's such a good line.
There was
or like Skin Tags chop them up with it's fucking great. So
there was what the fuck was it? Panther Like a Panther from Run the Jewels 3, where he's like, I got banana dicks, it's something about going ape shit when she see it or whatever, and I'm like, classic penis line. Very good.
Yep,
very good.
You need it. You fucking need it in there.
That beat also is like with the bongos and shit. Blockbuster Night Part 1, I think that's the one. I first heard that in Watch Dogs.
Is that the DDT and Mausoleums, Macabre Massacres, Killer Cuts of my Coliseum?
Yes. Yeah, fucking love that song. Great fucking song. Yes,
absolutely.
Killer Mike's voice, man, is he's got that's the kind of voice that like that can get anybody to get up and just like fucking punch somebody in the face.
100%. Yeah.
He's got that like heavy metal energy without doing heavy metal. It's just like the booming intensity of his voice. You know?
1000%. Yeah. Put on a good show. I'll give him that. So
there's a song. There's an Immortal Technique song that's not on any of his albums. It was more of like a mixtape kind of deal or compilation or something. It's called Black Vikings. It's him, Styles P, and Vinny Paz. And it's literally like about killing and pillaging and raping your enemies, and it's crazy. It's the craziest fucking song that I still. It's like interesting to the raping, pillaging, and killing. He says no. It's just it gets you pumped the fuck up. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
I mean, Vikings were good people, but
it's like that would be wrestling intro music. I feel like to come out to kind of shit. But
that's a good question. If you could have a theme song, what would you be?
Oh fuck, I don't know, man.
Put you on the spot.
If I had, God, hold on.
Like baseball, you got a song coming up for baseball or intro music WWE.
It's a Tech Nine song. It's been so long. I hold on. It would be a Tech Nine song. The name.
Okay.
I gotta find the album real quick because it's on Killer. Hold on. It's on the double album. 1 second. Like, yeah. That shit is so fucking hype. It's so hype. Like, he's like, yeah, yeah. Like, the chorus, man, it's catchy as shit. And it's a good fucking song. Like,
nice.
That would be my walkout if I had one. Now, what about you?
I'd have two. I'd have Black Breath Spit on the Cross.
Okay.
Specifically the part where it says Reject Christ, Spit on the Cross. And it just goes this like chunky ass riff. And then I would probably have Nails, You'll Never Be One of Us, which is just like this 45-second just blast, or it's a minute 32, just blast beat, pissed off, angry song.
Hell yeah.
Those would probably be, that used to be my, I did a short-lived Twitch stream with a guy. We played like D&D, and that was my like get hype music, was just listening to that. Or this band called Sabretooth Zombie with a song where it's just like, kick rocks, you fucking dummy. I don't know why I just love that line. So
any song, like, you know, there has to be moments like in a studio where bands or hip hop artists are coming up with stuff and they're just like, oh, that's the fucking one. Like, that's the shit that will get people hype. Like, I do listen to shit outside of hip hop. It's very small. It's very minuscule. So there's two bands that I listen to that, because I'm the kind of person where it's like, I have to kind of discover music on my own to a degree. Like, yeah, I'll take the recommendations of other people, but like, I have to really sit and marinate on my own to see if I like it or not. Revocation, fantastic technical death metal group.
Okay.
So their guitarist, Dave Davidson, I'm like, that's a fucking name. He listens to a lot of jazz, and he gets a lot of his inspiration from jazz musicians to come up with the crazy riffs that he does, because there's a lot of there's a lot of like atonal sounds and a lot of different like jazz is pretty technical when you think about it.
100%.
And he takes that and incorporates that, because he does guitar and he does all the vocals and shit. But they're also they're also, I guess you could say, in a way, they do cosmic horror in a way. Like, a lot of their shit is inspired by Lovecraftian themes. So
cool. Nice.
They've said as such. The other band is Lamb of God. I found Lamb of God first before I found Revocation. Loved Randy Blythe's voice. Both of these bands also have singers where I can understand their lyricists, because that's not always the case. So,
I'm in that boat of I don't know what the fuck people are saying, but I love it. So
I can pick it out, and for me, it makes it and elevates it better. But the riffs are tasty and they're good. And Walk With Me in Hell, great fucking the Sacrament, Ashes of the Wake album. Love those fucking things. But lately, more recently, just because those are like older picks and stuff, and I do listen to them in the rotation. So there's this artist named Thief, which apparently
Thief?
No, like the word thief.
Oh, thief,
like,
gotcha.
Like stealing, yeah.
I say, because Thief is a dope Dungeon Sith band, so.
I see, you know more about Dungeon Sith than I do. That's not my thing. But this guy, apparently he was part of a metal band called, I think, Botanist.
Okay.
But on his own, as kind of like doing a solo thing, he's been making this like crazy dark electronica music that has like Gregorian chants mixed in with it and all sorts of different synths. Kind of got some hip hop. Yeah. The 16, I think it's like the 16 Keys of My Master is the album that I found first. Really, really, 16 Keys of My Master. Let me just double check that. Fuck. That's not coming. The 16 Deaths of My Master.
Okay.
Fantastic. Just really good, moody, atmospheric music. Weird in some weird ways. I kind of get a Marilyn Manson vibe from how the vocal styles are done, but it's the lyrics themselves are not anything like that. Just, I don't know, man. Like, shit goes hard, in my opinion. So
if you like dark electronic music, check out a band called Author and Punisher. It's a one-man band who created his own instruments to like make the music. It's watching him talk about his setup is the most like enlightening shit. Where he's like, "Yeah, so I just put this piece in my mouth and I can bite down here and it makes this sound, and if I bite down on the right side, it's fucking wild." He made
a mechanical engineer and artist. No shit.
Yeah.
No shit, buddy. That makes
fucking.
That's crazy. That is
cool.
crazy.
So
yeah,
right, yeah.
God. So it's great to be. This is great to have been able to just talk shop about hip hop like this, because I think I'm the only person that I know of who's so like deep into that shit amongst like even my friend groups and everybody else. Like,
right.
Like Lucas is the metal guy, and on our side of things, he knows all these German bands, but of course he knows like some other things. Oh fuck, System of a Down. I can't talk about music without talking about System of a Down. It's a shame they haven't made albums anymore. It's a shame I'll never see them live. But goddamn,
they're putting on a good show.
I'm jealous if you've seen them. So
I saw them back in. I saw it with Slipknot or Rammstein. I don't remember which one it was.
Okay.
Or Rammstein. But yeah, I saw them. It was like 2006 or something like that. So
yeah, right around the time they put out Mesmerize and Hypnotize. If I were to be stuck on a desert island with just 2 albums, it would be Toxicity and Steal This Album. They're both infinitely replayable, and Serge Tankian is a wonderful vocalist. Nice. Yeah, okay. Nice. You, 2 stuck on a desert island. What 2 albums are you taking?
Oh, I'm going to do the first Boston album.
Okay.
There's not a bad song on that entire album. It's flawless from start to finish. And I would probably... Second one would be tough. I'm trying to think of another one. I would probably put Bell Witch, Mirror Reaper. I would probably that album was a huge turning point for me in music when I first heard it, because I'd never listened to non-classical music that hit me in a way and made me feel really emotional.
I'm Googling both of these motherfuckers now. So,
you've heard Boston. I know you've heard the band Boston.
Remember?
Absolutely. You don't even know that you've heard Boston, but you fucking heard Boston.
Oh, so you're
saying
more
than a feeling. So
maybe I'd have to hear it again and probably be like, oh, I probably
heard that. It's like classic 70s rock. Yeah.
Okay.
But their first album, like the guy, it took him like a whole like shit ton of time to produce it. Like he's a super focused and whatnot. Great album. But Mirror Reaper is essentially an album. So Bell Witch is a funeral doom band. So all their songs are like super drawn out, and there's like pipe organs and stuff like that. But it's just drum and bass.
That's interesting. Okay.
But the song is about a ghost passing over from this life to like the next, and like that process it takes, and like what they feel. And it's really emotional because in the process of them planning that album out, one of the members died. So it became like a tribute to them.
Yeah.
And so there are a set of vocals during like the middle part of it's like the last vocals he ever recorded.
Damn.
And it's a really haunting, like, really fucking haunting album. And they just did an album a couple years ago that came out right after one of my friends had taken his own life, and it really it really fucked with me. But it was like it was a kind of listening to the album, it was almost like you're through the storm and then you come out the other side and everything's like nice. And so it was kind of helpful in that sense. So Bell Witch is they're one of my favorite bands of all time. But
so
those
Mirror
are probably
Reaper
my two. Definitely.
And Boston. From Boston.
Mirror Reaper is a hour and I think it's like 32-minute song. So it's one fucking song and it goes.
Damn.
But yeah, I think those would be my 2 albums. So
hell yeah, I might. Yeah. I'll definitely have to give them a check. I don't know if I'd be like I said. A single 80-minute song is crazy. Like
it is.
They aren't playing. They aren't playing consistently for that long, but maybe they are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw they played it live. I saw it live.
Holy shit! That is.
It was
crazy.
Amazing. It was incredible. So yeah. Damn. So those are probably my two albums. Like I will say that first Boston album, I think it's just self-titled. It's got More Than a Feeling. It's got like every big song they ever had is on that album. And it's just like hit after hit after hit, and it's just like Smoking. It's fucking
Boston,
awesome.
So. My tastes lately have kind of been because in doing shit with 9mm, I've been looking for like smaller, lesser known artists that
Okay.
I could reach out to and be like, hey, can I use your music? I don't have a means of paying you, but like I really love your shit and I'm doing this for free, and hey,
Bandcamp. If you haven't, go on Bandcamp, man. There's
That's
a
how-
ton of great shit on there.
that's how I found Mortefero, who I hit them. They're a Netherlands-based alternate folk band, but their
tight.
shit really fits the vibe to me for Delta Green, and so like.
Mhm.
I hit them up and I was like, "Hey, can I use one of your songs?" And they were like, "Sure." And this was on Instagram, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" And then I hit them up again recently. Hey, can I use another one of your songs? Sure. And I'm just like, "Fuck yeah, this is great!" Like,
Yeah.
it's cool
I had that
to
with
be
a-
able to do that.
I had that with an old podcast. There's a band called Earth Witch that I love.
Okay.
They are they're like a bluesy doom band. So
Blues
they
doom.
had two blues doom. Yeah, the classic blues doom combo. But I remember I reached out to them for a podcast. I was like, "Hey man, can I use your song Starfighter as like the intro to our song? Like I'll put a promotion for you guys in there. I'll tell everybody about you every time. I'll put a link to your guys' album." I'm like, "Yeah, man, fuck it. Like, cool, go for it." And so when that season ended, I hit them up for another song, and they like eventually got back to me because I think they kind of broke up or they're on hiatus. They haven't put out an album since like 2016,
Right.
something like that. But yeah, it was really cool. Like this band I loved. Like I bought a tape, I bought their vinyl. Like I was obsessed with them for a good year. They were just like, yeah, totally, man. I'm like, oh my god, I made it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that you talking about like the band having broken up, like one of the other bands that I reached out to was this another alt folk band, which I don't know why the vibe that those people create it's like, you got like banjos and like darker lyrics and shit like that.
Yeah.
But Blind Mountain Holler was the other band that I've reached out to. I used their song Motherfucker Moonbeam to cap off Walking Distance. Just the vibe of that. It's like, old man, you need to get the fuck out of here, and like how that how that ends. Like it again. I look for things that encapsulate what I feel like the mood of Delta Green is, and that band's no longer active because I think they like one of them moved to the East Coast and the other's on the West Coast. But yeah, their vocalist was like, yeah, sure, we're not active anymore, but you can go ahead and use it. And I was like, fuck yeah. So
Exactly. So
it's always fun.
well, I think I've taken enough of your time. I'll let you get back to your normal life here.
Dude, there's no such thing as a normal life, but this was it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
To talk about so much shit, it is fun time, man.
I wanted to talk with you for a while, so I'm glad we finally got the time to, because
Yes.
I was everyone that's been really cool with us, like podcast wise, like you guys have been super gracious and like been really cool and supportive, and we support you
Hell
guys.
yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
I want to interview the friends. I want to interview the homies and get them on here. At least try to get them.
You got to kiss
some-
the homies, So
Yeah, exactly. Full time.
gotta hug the homies. Gotta kiss the homies. Yeah.
So-
I hope you don't mind.
You want
if
to
I...
shout out anything?
Oh yeah, I'm about to hijack you.
Plug,
Yeah.
plug.
All right, fellow travelers, if you want to listen to more of my bullshit, maybe you do, maybe you don't. 9mm Retirement Radio is a 80s Delta Green actual play podcast cut together to sound like an audio drama. We are available wherever you get your podcast. You can listen on Spotify or an RSS feed or Apple, iTunes, whatever the fuck. Join our Discord if you like what you hear. We love to talk to people.
Very active.
We are very active. It could be a whole other conversation about fan bases and cultivation and everything, but come fucking listen to us. We are I'm passionate. We're passionate about what we put out and make, and we have an array of different shows for you to listen to in our show notes. And yeah, give us a listen. And Chris, thanks so much.
Give them money on coffee too.
Oh, yes.
Go give
Give
them the
me
money.
your money. No, that sounds fucked up. You don't have to, but we do have a coffee page. It is ko-fi.com/9mm Retirement Radio. You can give me $1 if you so desire. That's all.
I will
we
put a
ask
link in
for.
the show notes for you. Don't worry about that. So.
All right. Yes.
But yeah,
you are helping to upgrade everybody else's equipment to sound as crispy bispy as I do right now.
exactly.
But Chris,
No.
thank you so much, man. It was good.
Oh, of
This
course,
was a good
dude.
talk. It was fantastic.
Absolutely, man. It was I guess one of those things. Like the more I've talked with you online, I'm like, you seem like a very cool person.
Oh, thanks.
And
you too, bro.
I feel like you and I probably have a lot more in common than we probably originally thought. So
the internet, baby,
but yeah,
coast to coast.
that's
You're on the west,
fucking
I'm
wild,
on the
man.
east. It's
so wild.
it is. It is.
So we'll do this again sometime. We'll maybe we'll get Tom or drag someone else along too. So all right, thanks again, Max. I'll talk with you later, bud.
Yes. Yeah. Take it easy, man.